Ever wonder why your drives seem to shrink when the weather is cold? You're not alone. In the winter, your golf balls not only feel cold, they lose distance. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to handle cold balls and keep your drives long even when the temperatures drop. Cold weather can be absolutely brutal on your golf game. Not only do you get sore and stiff muscles from swinging out in the cold, but your golf balls shrink and shrivel, but your golf balls also contract, and that means they get harder and they don't go as far. And as a result of that, a lot of people have come up with some little tricks to try to keep their golf balls warm so they can maintain their distance when it's cold outside. Well, in this video, I'm going to talk to you about lots of techniques to keep your balls warm, some legal, some not legal. I'm going to talk to you about what I recently did. Here in Las Vegas, we have big temperature changes. Teed off a couple of days ago, it was 36 degrees at tee time, and I was playing with some guys who normally hit the ball about 20 yards further than me, but because of the trick that I'm going to teach you at the end of this video, I was able to hit the ball my normal distance while they're out hitting the ball, and I didn't hit it any longer, but they hit it about 20 yards shorter, and all day I was out driving these guys who normally outdrive me, and they were scratching their heads trying to feel it out. By the way, that's a good feeling, and I know you look forward to feeling that. So first, let's talk about things people try to keep their golf balls warm, and then I'll tell you what I do and what works. So sometimes people do some really crazy things, like I've seen suggestions from some people, oh, you should boil your golf balls. Well, I don't like the idea of putting my balls in water. They seem to find water well enough on their own without me dropping them in the water. And by the way, my golf balls don't like hot water. They like the cool water that you find in the ponds and lakes on the course. Now, certainly putting your balls in boiling water or boiling a pot of water and then putting your balls in them will raise the temperature and you'll have warm golf balls, but how long do you boil them? At what temperature? What's optimum? How long until the water creates some damage on the golf ball? Those are just complications and questions to which I don't know the answer. I don't know anybody's ever found the answer, but I don't want to deal with putting my golf balls in water. Now, other people suggested, oh, you microwave your golf balls. I have the same questions. How long, at how much wattage, does how many balls matter, and all of that kind of thing. Plus, what if you microwave them too long and you ruin the balls, or the balls explode and, make a mess in your... My kitchen is not the place for a science experiment, so I'm not microwaving golf balls. Now, there's a cool device you can buy on Amazon that actually plugs into the USB on the golf cart and will get your balls up really nice and super warm, like 125 degrees. That's not legal during tournament play, but it is a great way to keep your balls warm. If you own your own cart, maybe you could use that to warm your balls up before you go out and play, and then you have to stop warming them when you get on the course. Could you hold them in that device? Yeah, I'm not sure. You need that person in your local club who's the rules guru to tell you that, and that'll create a big argument. But anyway, there you go on that. You can also, I've seen people use these hand warmers, either the electric ones or the ones that you break up and they use the air. Cold out here. Now, there is a ton of research that says the optimum temperature for golf ball flight is 78 degrees. And for every 10 degrees below that, you lose about 2.5 yards. I found that I lose a little bit more when it's cold, probably because it's cold. My swing and body movement is a little slower and I'm more stiff. Who knows? Point is, it's nice to have your golf balls at the optimum temperature. The problem with all of those methods is it's illegal to warm your balls on the course. So if you're playing in a competitive or tournament event, you can't do that. Now, I know some guys who kind of take a little liberty. They'll put a hand warmer in their pocket and then keep their balls in that pocket and saying, well, I always carry my ball. You let your conscience and your local rules chairman be the guide there. I think that's kind of iffy. And when I carry a hand warmer, I have it somewhere like in a pocket that's on my sweater vest and keep my ball separate from that. I just don't want to push the rules. I get it. If you do whatever is appropriate for you. Now let me tell you what I do and have done for several years and will continue to do that helps me on cold days maintain the same distance that I have on normal days. And like I said, I played recently. It was 36 degrees at our tee time and below 60 when we were done. We played pretty early in the morning, and there are big temperature swings like that all the time in Las Vegas. First thing is, keep your balls inside your house. I know most of us store our golf supplies and equipment in the garage. Here in Las Vegas, where we have temperatures at 115 degrees, that's not a good idea. Certainly leaving your clubs in the trunk of your car is not a good idea. Same thing for your balls. I store my equipment and my balls in the garage. The night before I play, I go out in the garage and I get 3 or 4 golf balls, or sometimes 6, take them in the house and keep them in the house. Some people have floor vents that come out of the floor and that kind of thing and store them on the vents or by a space heater when it's really cold. You can do that, that's fine, as long as you're heating your golf balls before you start your round. Now, I know some people try to put their golf balls on a vent or indoors by a space heater or whatever. That's not necessarily. My house stays about 66, 68 degrees in the wintertime at night while I sleep. That's plenty warm enough. I get up the next morning, and when I'm leaving to go out of the door to the course, I take those balls and put them in my pocket where my body is 98.6, and so they're getting a little heat, close enough to 75, 78 degrees by the time that I get on the course. The other thing that I do in the wintertime is I play much softer balls. Normally I play balls that are somewhere between 85 and 90 compression, sometimes a little bit softer than that. In the wintertime, I play the Wilson Do-All golf balls. I would never play them in the summer because they're 55 degrees compression, and even with my slow swing speed, they feel like you're hitting a marshmallow. But in the wintertime, because it's cold outside, those golf balls are harder and they add compression, and I found that on a cold day, I hit those 55 compression balls the same distance that I hit my regular balls on a warm or average temperature day. So that works for me. Simply keep the balls inside where they're up to room temperature, keep them in your pocket, and then use a softer ball. Now I do play one ball, and I take balls and I'll write 1 on the ball, 2 on another ball, 3 on another ball. I'll put 3 of them in my pocket, play 1 ball, 1 hole, put it in the pocket, the second ball another hole, the third ball another hole. So I'm rewarming them in my pocket without any aid or device, which is perfectly legal. But the key thing in the wintertime is to keep your balls warm by a legal and reasonable method so that you don't ruin your golf balls or cause problems in your home or cheat in the game. Play a softer ball and then keep them warm legally while you're on the course. Like I said, I used this method last Friday in Las Vegas. I hit all of my balls from tee shot to the approach shots, all the normal distance, and I was playing with other guys who normally outdrive me by 15 to 20 yards, and I was outdriving them. I gained about 20 yards on them without hitting the ball further, because they were still hitting their Pro V1s and Pro V1Xs. I was hitting softer balls that were also close to 75, 78 degrees on the ball, even though I didn't measure them. They went just like a normal shot. Normally we do putting tips on this channel, but if you like the occasional aside into other areas to improve your golf game so that you have the opportunity to make more putts, then you ought to give this video a thumbs up. Check out and subscribe to the channel. That's a really easy tap-in putt. You just punch that subscribe button. Obviously, share it with a friend who needs this information. Put your comments below, and until next time, here's to you making more putts.